Jennifer Prees here today to share with you how to make a Disney-inspired villain bib necklace. And I'm going to share with you how to use the mod melts from Mod Podge, they're brand new, and also how to use some beads from House of Gems. Click that subscribe button if you didn't do so already so that you can get updates every time we add a new video. So here's the supplies that you're going to need is some mod melts from Mod Podge, the mod melter, which melts the mod melts, some leftover broken jewelry, a piece of felt, some beads from House of Gems, some chain to make the necklace, and some scissors. You'll also need the mod molds to create the molds that we're going to use to make the frame that goes around Maleficent. So here's how to use the Mod Podge mod melter. Now I have some mod molds here. These are also available for Mod Podge, and basically the mod melter melts colored glue sticks, and you can use that to fill in your molds. Now you want to hold it vertically. I do hold it at a little bit of an angle, but ideally you want to hold it vertically and press down on the lever to put the mod melts material into the mold. Now if you see blobs that are occurring on your craft mat between filling the molds, that's because you need to turn off the mod melter between filling molds, because it's always going to be kind of heating the glue and expressing it out just a tiny bit. So to minimize waste, if you're going to set down the mod melter, make sure you turn it off before you move to your next project. I like to fill in kind of the edges and the details first with the mod melter, and then go in and fill in all of the rest of it. Now you can change colors just by sticking a new glue stick into the back when the old one is mostly finished, and there's still going to be some of the old color inside of the mod melter, so you'll want to fill about 2 to 4 more molds before that new color starts coming out. And you'll see on this last mold that I'm doing, which is the frame, the silver color that I just put into the mod melter is going to start coming out right here at about the end. So you can see a little bit of silver right there. Now you'll let that cool, and once it's cool, which takes about 10 minutes, you'll pop the shapes from the molds and then trim any excess with scissors if needed. So if you're a little bit more careful than I was when you're filling the molds, that will make life a lot easier and you won't have to do any trimming. Kathy and Steve Fillion, who developed this, have some great tutorials about how to do that on their YouTube channel. So here's how to make a bib necklace. You're going to trim a piece of felt to about 3 inches by 6 inches and then fold it in half and cut a crescent shape. I'm using felt from Kunin, and you can see here that I'm kind of measuring it to show you about how big it is. You can also hold it to your chest to see how big it would be as a necklace. Next, you're going to mix some store-bought items, thrifted trims, and broken jewelry to see how that will look good on your bib necklace. Make sure you have enough stuff all together. And then use some of that mod melter to attach a piece of chain to the points of the necklace to make it a bib necklace. Next, if you have any old jewelry like that earring that I have, trim off the back with some wire cutters and then use the mod melter to start gluing and attaching all the pieces to your felt. What I like about using the mod melter for this is that it looks like glitter, or it has a color. So there's some that look like that are glittery and some that are colored as far as the mod melts refills. And what's nice is if there's any space here on my bib necklace, I can fill it in with the mod melter and it's not going to show. So if I had used hot glue, like sometimes hot glue looks kind of yellow and it looks gross. So on here, what's nice is that all of my hot glue, if any of it does ooze out or show through to the front, it all looks like silver glitter. So it actually looks like part of the piece, and you can't necessarily tell that this has been hot glued together. So I've glued on some sequin trims and then also some beads, and I decided I wanted to add a little bit more color to that frame that I made with the mod melts mold, or the mod molds. And so I used some acrylic paint for that, let that dry, and then I printed out a picture of Maleficent from the internet on some photo paper, and then I just trimmed that to fit the little frame and then used the mod melter to hot glue the frame to the photo. Now later I went in and used some smooch accent ink to add a little bit of black to this frame once everything was put all together. Now you're just going to fill in the rest of your bib necklace with all of the elements. I glued that little Maleficent frame down with the Mod Melter. And again, I'm using the Mod Melter to attach everything to this bib necklace, from beads to the broken earring that I'm using, to that Mickey head and the sequin trim, and also using it to kind of fill in gaps. And so here I'm taking these pointed, like teardrop shaped beads and poking them into the glue or into the Mod Melt to make it stick, and so that they stick out. And I wanted it to look like stones or crystals growing like in a cave. So once everything's all filled in, and I'm just using the Mod Melter to add a few more little details there, you're going to use some scissors to trim any felt that is visible from the front of your bib necklace. So we don't want people to see that this is felt. We want it to look like it's one big solid piece and that it doesn't have fabric on the back. So here it is, all finished and ready to wear. You can add a clasp in the back, or if you made it long enough to slip over your head, you don't need to have a clasp. And you can see the detail there on that Mod Melts frame with Maleficent in the middle, and you can see the black ink that I added. This is a fun, unique conversation piece, and you can make these for all kinds of parties and whatever occasion. It's super fun. So thanks so much for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button, and you can click on those little videos playing there to see some of our other videos.